Everyone's favorite time of year is right around the corner. College football season. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new players in the center of action with $200 in free bets instantly if you bet $1 or more on any college football game. Take advantage of this limited time offer now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code TBPN to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any college football game. That's promo code TBPN to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 and older, New Jersey, Indiana, Pennsylvania only, new customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Man, the Milwaukee Bucks finally commit to Mike Budenholzer. The NBA schedule is released, and the late Kobe Bryant's birthday recently passed. I'm Rosa Panta. This is the Clinic All NBA podcast. I have the two hooligans with me again. JJ, how you living?
Feeling good, feeling great. What's up, everybody?
John, how you living?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Good to be here.
So like I said earlier, the late Kobe Bryant birthday just recently passed, and a lot of people had different posts. I just wanted to ask, just open it up to you guys. What were you guys thinking about? What are some memorable games that you want to mention for Kobe? Let's just honor him for a little bit. I'm going to start with John.
Man, just being a Laker fan for as long as I've been and been privileged, honestly, to just have some of the all-time greats play for my team that I've loved and grew up on. And Kobe just being somebody that I kind of idolize and I try to emulate when I played basketball recreationally. There's just so many moments. And one that really sticks out to me was Orlando Magic, Lakers 2009 finals. After game 2, the Lakers go up 2-0. And in the post game, one of the reporters asks him, are you happy? Because Kobe wasn't smiling, he wasn't grinning, just didn't seem like he was happy that the Lakers were up 2-0. And then Kobe says, what's there to be happy about? And the reporter says, you're up 2-0. And Kobe's response, just cold-blooded killer, the Black Mamba, with no smile, no grin, said, job's not finished. Is the job finished? No, job's not finished. And to me, that just kind of encapsulates or just in a nutshell emphasizes kind of what kind of player, the type of player that Kobe was. He's just a killer, stone cold killer, and didn't want to even give his opponents the time of day of thinking that he was weak or, giving them or content with the Lakers being up 2-0. So for me, it was that moment.
Kobe Bryant definitely was the last of his breed, I want to say, as far as the intensity and the level of skill that he had. I mean, you just think about his intensity, to have Matt Barnes ball fake right at his face, and the man doesn't even flinch. He doesn't even move an inch. And he was just amazing to watch. JJ, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, Kobe is probably the last player that symbolized greatness, and when I define greatness, it's when everybody hates you while you're playing, and when you retire, everyone loves you. That happened to Jordan. And people often forget this, that Jordan was hated on during the 90s because he was that good.
Right.
Kobe was hated on during the 2000s, but now he's beloved, and soon to be Tom Brady, when he retires, it'll probably be the same, because when greatness retires or you don't see it anymore, that's when people appreciate it. So shout out to Kobe. One of the characteristics that I think that we often forget about Kobe is his tenacious defense. And his defense was amazing. It made me want to play defense like he plays defense. And a game that I want to shout out is Game 4, 2006 against the Suns. He had that crazy layup really high And then he also had the game winner over two people. John's favorite player, Raja Bell, and forgot the other person. Doesn't even matter. Kobe, shout out. We love you.
Yeah. Dude, his defense was incredible. He's a 12-time all-defensive selection, 5-time NBA champion, 2-time finals MVP, 18-time All-Star. I mean, the list goes on for Kobe Bean Bryant, and we just want to say rest in peace from the clinic over here. And now we're going to move forward, get the ball rolling. Mike Budenholzer. This man just got extended. 3 years. 3-year extension after winning the NBA Finals. I guess we're all not really shocked, but sort of shocked at the same time. It's a strange feeling. JJ, I'm going to kick it to you. What do you think of this extension?
My first reaction is, why now? What's the rush? You have one more year on your contract. He was already on kind of like walking on eggshells. No, not walking on eggshells. He was already, in this beam of light where people wanted him out. And
yeah,
the Nets series symbolized all this hate that people wanted him out. Like terrible rotations, no strategy, the substitutions were like ill-advised and untimely. And everyone talked about how James Harden, who was obviously injured, there was a lack of attack. Like you could have done the, Chris Paul or, the Harden tactic, use his own tactic on him, which is pick the weakest player and just go at him, which they didn't do.
Right.
But I guess like they had to extend the contract. Did they? I don't know. I guess they had to, but they fired numerous coaches after winning Coach of the Year. That's George Karl, Dwayne Casey,
right?
Even Mike Brown. So I guess if you win a championship, your contract is expected to get extended, right?
Yeah, I mean, JJ's saying that they had to do it. They had to extend it. John, do you think the same?
I think from a PR perspective, they had to, but I don't think it's the right move from an organization standpoint. I mean, unless Mike Budd has some voodoo dolls and was poking his Kyrie Irving one and to make him get injured in the Eastern Conference. Was it the semifinals or finals? Whatever. And maybe that's why Kyrie got hurt. Maybe he told Giannis to go stand under him while he was going for a layup. I don't know. But I don't think from a basketball mind or a coach, like JJ said, the X's and O's or anything, even beyond that, I don't know if he deserved they won the championship, right? And he can't control the injuries that happen, but I was left unimpressed with his adjustments and the things that he did or did not do throughout the entire playoffs. So again, this is just in my opinion, a result of the fact that the Bucks did end up winning the championship. And that happens a lot in the NBA, right? You have a coach who may not be the most deserving of a contract extension or a massive salary raise, but they're going to get it because they won the championship. It actually goes to players too, right? You see a lot of players that they're not that great. They don't play. They're like a one-trick pony. They're really only specialized in one thing. But if they win a championship, you'll see that they're going to command a new contract or a salary that, in most people's eyes, is way beyond what they are actually worth. So I'm not surprised by it. I just don't think he deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to express the same sentiment that Mike Budenholzer definitely didn't necessarily earn this contract. I think what JJ was saying earlier is that Mike Budenholzer was definitely underneath a microscope for this playoffs. Like if he didn't win the NBA championship, he's likely going to be fired, right? It was literally the only way that he could get his contract extended, and he did it. So they had to give him a contract. But what I do want to say is that they didn't commit to him for very long, did they? 3 years? Doesn't that seem kind of light? Didn't Steve Kerr get like an extension for like 5 years or something like that?
I mean, isn't it 1 year too long?
That's
Burn.
I think. Do you think that was that extra championship year though? They're like, he did get us a championship. I guess I gotta throw 3, so it doesn't seem too suspicious. Two years would have been kind of suspicious, right?
Right.
3 years, it's like you're barely like breaking the threshold of like, yeah, we kind of appreciate you. I don't know. The man is a regular season beast, though. I mean, his record is 172 and 65, so he does get you to the playoffs. We'll just see if he could repeat this success. I think we're all in agreement here that we all sort of put a little asterisk on this title because there were so many injuries. I mean, the Lakers, the Nets, I mean, the list goes on, right? For title favorites. Go ahead.
Coach Bud should be giving part of his salary to Kevin Durant's foot.
His toe?
His toe.
His big toe, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The nail salon that KD goes to.
Where he paints his nails black when he's on Twitter.
When he's very emotional.
Yeah.
Emo.
So the NBA schedule has been released. And I want to ask you guys what games you guys are excited for. At least choose one. Choose one game out of the regular season that you guys are looking forward to. I'm going to start with JJ.
Well, we've talked about this on the clinic, which is we miss 90s basketball. And when you think about 90s basketball, one of the teams that pops up are the New York Knicks. And when I saw the schedule that Mr. Trey coming through New York talking smack to the crowd at MSG, which people think is the mecca of basketball, I thought, how dope is that? Like, New York for the past few years, they haven't been in the playoffs, but now there's a rivalry and it's with one of the youngest stars that's coming up. So I'm actually pretty excited for Christmas Day. For once with an East Coast team, 2 East Coast teams playing against each other. The Knicks and the Hawks.
Nice. John, what game are you going with?
You guys already know where I'm going with this, right? Christmas Day, baby. Lakers and Nets. The pinnacle of, and I hope it's not a disappointment, but just based on the talent and the storylines behind the guys on the court, it's got to be electric, right? You have LeBron and Kyrie, former teammates who won a championship together. You have KD and Westbrook, who seem cordial but most likely hate each other and will forever, for eternity. And then you have Harden and AD. They don't have any history together, but even Harden with Westbrook, they played together with KD in their when they were all rookies and they were early in Seattle. And so just the storylines alone should make the game. I hope there's a lot of trash talking. I hope there's people don't hold back. And, it just ends up being a great game. If I had my way, I would hope it would go 4 overtimes. But again, there is a lot of hype around it, I will say that, and I just hope I'm not disappointed. But I'm going to go with that. Lakers Nets Christmas Day.
Dude, there's something about just watching KD and LeBron go at each other, especially this upcoming year. I mean, it's so exciting to almost see LeBron have like these fake motivational slights towards him. Like, Lakers are too old. He doesn't get any votes, right? Any votes for best player in the league. And he's like retweeting these. He's like quoting the tweet. To see him amped up like that in a game versus the Nets, I think it's going to be super fun, super exciting. But for me, it's got to be opening day. We're going to get Lakers versus Warriors. And the reason why I say this is because, man, that elimination game, I wanted more. I wish it was a full series. And
agreed.
I hate to say this, but basketball is so good when Steph Curry and LeBron James are going at each other neck and neck. And now Steph Curry is going to actually have have better players around him. Wiseman with another year, Kuminga off the bench, Moody off the bench, Iguodala is back. Like, the storylines are great. And then plus Russell Westbrook, like, playing defense on Steph Curry. Like, for some reason, they just really go at each other. They get underneath each other's skin. That's so much fun to watch too. That's the game that I'm looking forward to. Something that I want to mention though, we have a list of the number of nationally televised games for each team. And the Lakers are at the top with 42. The Warriors are number 2 with 41. And are you guys surprised at all that these two teams have the most nationally televised game? Is there a team that you guys think should be in the top 2?
No.
The Cavs.
The Pistons.
I think it's appropriate, man. I think it's the Nets are right under that too. They're at number 3. The Bucks are at number 4. I think it's pretty appropriate, right?
Yeah, it's not surprising at all. And
yeah,
it's because of what you said earlier, that basketball is so much better when Steph Curry and LeBron James are going toe-to-toe. And that's essentially why it's not surprising to me. Those two have been going at it in the finals for the last 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been, and the ratings have always been through the roof. So for me, and then you have California, right? You have the SoCal versus NorCal. There's that narrative. So it's not surprising at all. Even though you would think that maybe a championship team, the Bucks or the Suns, would be above the Warriors, but no, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I thought that initially, but then the market's not big enough. They don't have. I mean, Steph Curry is one of those guys that. And him and LeBron, they have such polarizing games. They're so different. Steph is finesse. He's a shooter. LeBron is the opposite of that. He's like power, and he's gonna go at you with his speed and strength. And so I think that's just the difference in their games makes it makes the game, everything so interesting and more engaging.
I'm just sad that we won't see Draymond make fun of Kyle Kuzma anymore. But to add on to what both of you were saying, strategically speaking from a marketing standpoint, it's not a surprise that it's 2 West Coast teams that have primetime games. And with Adam Silver now having, the primetime games at an earlier start at 5 and 5:30, it's just like, oh, let's have the best teams on the West Coast have more televised games when people are about to go to bed or going out, if you're on the East Coast, and while eating dinner here on the West Coast. So marketing-wise, it's wise as well. But the main thing is Steph versus LeBron, man. How can't you like that? Come on.
That's true. And just games with those two, like you guys are saying, it's always electric to watch. You never know what you're going to get. And speaking of never knowing what you're going to get, J.R. Smith, the man is unpredictable, man. I did not know that he was such an avid golfer. I guess he applied because he's going back to school. He's going to North Carolina A&T, and it has been announced that he is eligible to play golf for that college at the age of 36. John, what do you think of this?
I just hope he is familiar with the rules of golf. Like, he didn't remember when he didn't know that there was a 24-second shot, or he didn't know that there was a shot clock and didn't shoot the ball when he got the rebound.
Yeah.
Or he didn't realize there was time left on the clock.
He thought they were ahead too.
Yeah, something was going on. And immediately LeBron was thinking to himself, get this guy off my team. No, I mean, that's probably the most surprising news I've heard all week. I had no idea that, well, first of all, he's playing for a college at what age? 37?
36.
36, okay. I didn't know that was allowed, but
yeah, we got a chance. We could do it.
We have a chance.
Yeah, we're eligible. He gives us hope.
I don't know how much of that is because he is a celebrity, B-list or C-list celebrity, whatever you want to call him. But
right,
it'll be. I guess I mean, he has to be pretty decent at golf for him to make the team like that. So, and a lot of NBA. I think Steph Curry is a scratch golfer, which is very impressive for anybody. So, well, it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah, JJ, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I just think it's funny that he joined the team with now the NCAA allowing students to receive income off their image and likeness.
Ooh,
So
that's
I
a great
feel
angle.
it's like a really great, once again, gotta name drop the marketing strategy, get his name out there, maybe get some sponsorships. But I probably, I do feel bad for that pimpled-faced 18-year-old that had high dreams of making the golf team. And here comes J.R. Smith with the handle of Henny taking his spot. But hey, that's life. Sorry, kid.
I kind of wonder what kind of sponsorships J.R. Smith would get. I mean, we all know he's probably going to rock the hoverboard, right? Wasn't he the dude like always showing up in a hoverboard through the tunnel?
Yeah, the hoverboard, or maybe like a stopwatch company.
Yeah, or some great golf pants that you could wear just with no shirt. Just be shirtless the whole time. Shirtless JR playing golf.
We all know that the one sponsorship that he will not be getting is LeBron James Tequila Lobos.
Maybe Scottie Pippen, man. Maybe Scottie Pippen will throw him a sponsorship. Anyway, I have a quote from him here. It was probably one of the most exciting feelings I've had in a while. I really didn't know how it was going to go, but to be able to actually call myself a student athlete is a great feeling. So to remember, J.R. Smith, he didn't go to college. He skipped. He went straight from high school into the league. So this is the first time that he's going to be a student athlete, and that's what it's talking about. And I think that's great. So for our next topic, AI, the answer, said that his draft class was better than MJ's and LeBron's, basically saying that his class was the best ever. Reflecting on his draft class, do you guys think this is true?
Ooh, I don't know, man. When I think about LeBron's draft class with Wade, Bosh, Carmelo,
Right.
and of course Darko.
Darko Milicic.
That was 2003, right?
2003, like that's pretty strong, right? But I mean, AI's like Jordan's is Jordan's too. Like that's a pretty strong draft class. So I don't know. I think it's LeBron James's year, which is 2003. But I'm really interested to see what both of you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James, like you said, had Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. Another notable one is Chris Kaman, David West. And then, AIs, we have to mention AIs, right? AI, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Antoine Walker, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Jermaine O'Neal, Ilgauskas.
So y'all,
Can I take back my answer? I think 90. Dang, Iverson, Bryant, and Nash. Like, those are like three of my favorite players. But Jordan's my ultimate favorite.
Yeah, that one's pretty. John, what do you think?
Man, if I had to, I would say that it's tough because you have 84 Jordan's draft, right? You have MJ. You have Olajuwon, you have Barkley, and you have John Stockton. Those four alone are in the top. Those four players are arguably in the top 20. Charles Barkley is probably the one is debatable, right?
Right.
And then in 2003, you have Braun, Melo, Bosh, Wade, and so those guys are like top 50 too. And then you have, in 96, you have AI, the answer. You have Ray Allen. You have Marbury. Even though, Marbury was kind of more like, he was kind of iconic. He had his own shoe. He was popular at the time. You have obviously Kobe Bean. You have Steve Nash. It's honestly, I think it's a lot closer than we think it is. Because each draft has some big time players on there. So, man, this is a tougher question than I thought it was going to be. I was honestly already leaning towards what JJ was saying, which was the 96. Oh, I'm sorry, 2003 with Braun, Melo, Bosch, and Wade. But I don't know, man. If I had to pick, I might have to go with 96. I might have to go with what AI said. Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Marbury, had Kobe, Stojakovic, Steve Nash, Jermaine O'Neal, Marbury, Marcus Camby.
Yeah, man.
Like Marcus Camby wasn't a star, but he was serviceable. He was like a good defensive player for a long time.
And they had it was Ben Wallace came undrafted that year too.
Yeah, Ben Wallace. That's good. That's a great point. Ben Wallace was undrafted in that same year.
That's so crazy, dude.
And
Yeah.
I think overall 96, like top to bottom, was really strong. While 84 and 2003, I feel it's more top heavy. You know.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way to really settle this, except one way, which is for us to create an NBA 2K league. 2K. I mean, we all pick a class, right? We all pick a class. We face each other, and then we post it on Twitter and see what comes about. So you guys heard it here first. I mean, we're gonna start this. We're gonna play each other 1-on-1, tournament style, and see who comes out on top to prove AI's point or not.
Are you gonna start Chris Kaman at center for your 2003?
Nah, man, I'm going small ball. Chris Bosh is gonna be the 5. All right, we're gonna end with our last segment. That, of course, is dub or dud. You guys have to decide on if this story or this person, if you're gonna give it a dub or a dud. And we're gonna start with Lance Stevenson. He was at a pickup game and he took a video of a man in a bucket hat, Adidas warm-up pants, and shades. And this was the guy who called next. I'm gonna have RJ play that video.
Who came in here with shades on, talking about he got next?
Here's Lance Stevenson.
Oh, man. Who gonna pick him up? I want to see this.
Pointing the camera at him.
Oh.
So I want to know, is this a dub or a dud to show up to a pickup game with a bucket hat, warm-up pants, and shades? I'm going to start with John. The game is indoor, by the way, and is wearing shades.
I'm going to say, can I give this dubs and duds? Because there's so much going on in this video. First thing I want to say is, Lance Stevenson he's not even in the league anymore, right? I'm pretty sure no NBA team picked him up. So for him to clown on
Laker legend Lance Stevenson, my God. So for him to clown on some random dude in the gym at a recreational game, come on, man, that's low. Second thought is, my first thought about that guy with the bucket hat, it reminded me of Billy Hoyle in White Men Can't Jump, and I'm envisioning him just coming out to the court and schooling everybody. Dope.
And then Lance Stevenson decided not to post that part where he got crossed over by the kid with the bucket hat and Adidas pants. So I'm going to give Lance Stevenson a dud, and I'm going to give this white guy, Billy Hoyle, Woody Harrelson, a dub. Because in my mind, he killed it out there when he got next.
JJ, what are you giving it?
Oh, I'm gonna say a dub, and I'm gonna go with the greatest philosopher of all time, Charlie Murphy, which is, don't judge a book by its cover. Prince balled them up with blouses, and he said, you didn't get those clothes from the men's section. So
That's right.
if Prince is able to ball in high heels and a blouse, this cat could come in with a bucket hat, leather pants, high heels, whatever this dude wants. Just as long as you could ball, you're all good, my guy. Dub.
Yeah, man. He could be pulling an Uncle Drew out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna agree. Like, especially with that dud towards Lance Stevenson that John suggested, because Lance, like, you can't be talking smack about this guy, man. Because right now you're in the same league. You're playing at the same spot.
Ooh. Ooh.
So you can't be talking smack about him. Like, please.
Yeah, him and the bucket guy scored the exact same points last season in the NBA. 0.
Shots fired. And our next topic. Apparently, it's been leaked that during Klay Thompson's first contract negotiation, he left in the middle of negotiations to go feed his dog, Rocco. John, do you give Klay Thompson a dub or a dud for this?
Oh man, as a new dog owner, new puppy owner, and just I love animals. I gotta give him a dub, man. He's got his priorities straight. He was, he doesn't care about multi-millions. He cares about making sure his dog gets nourished. I can't hate on him for that, right? Come on, man. And in all honesty, Klay knows he's gonna get paid. So, in my eyes, is it really a negotiation? I know that he's coming off a serious injury, but when Klay is at the top of his game, he's probably the second best shooter. He is the second best shooter in the league after Steph Curry, and arguably he might be better as a spot up shooter. That's debatable, but I gotta give him a dub for that. Dub.
JJ.
It's a dub. Like, how much power do you have where you could just say, all right, I gotta feed my dog?
Yeah, that's a weird flex, right?
Yeah, it's a dope flex. And like, shout out to all the dog owners. I gotta do this, guys. I want to give a shout out to my 2 dogs, Penny and Rocky. You two are old, but I love you to death. Can you guys give a shout out to your dogs too?
Yeah, man. I gotta give a shout out to Yoshi. Like, I gotta actually leave right now and go feed Yoshi, so you guys can finish up the pod.
Go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna pull a Klay Thompson.
No, yeah, but you're negotiating with us, right? How much are we paying you? Sure. Like $3 or $5 an hour?
The same amount.
I wish.
As Lance Stevenson and Bucket Guy scored. Yeah, same amount.
What their NBA salary was last year?
Oh my goodness.
John, shout out your dog. What's your dog?
Yeah, well, man, Stella. I gotta give a shout out to Stella, man. I love her.
Man,
she's the second or third most important female in my life, and she's a little crazy. She's a lunatic. She gives me a lot of headaches, but I love her. At the end of the day.
Yeah, dude. So dubs to Klay Thompson, to Rocco, to our dogs, to all the dog dads out there, I guess. And for our next one, Max Kellerman. This is big news, man. He's leaving First Take, and apparently he's gonna star in his own solo show. Do you guys think this is a dub or a dud? Like, I actually, before we do this, I just want to show a little clip of Max and Stephen A. just talking with each other. RJ, can you run that video?
When Michael Jordan came back to the Bulls, and they had added Tony Kukoc, who was like the best.
From playing baseball?
Yes. And they had already added Tony Kukoc, and they needed to replace essentially Horace Grant, who served that power forward role in the first three-peat.
All right. We could stop it. That feels so stressful, man. John, do you think this is a dub or a dud that Max Kellerman is leaving? And what do you think of this?
I don't know what to think of it, honestly. I'll be honest with you. As much as I talk smack about Skip Bayless, he's entertaining. And that's the purpose of... That's why he commands the salary that he commands, and why they watch Undisputed or they watch him, is because he generates ridiculous takes, but he knows it generates viewers. And I think him and Stephen A. Smith, that was a special relationship. They had great rapport with each other. I don't know if Max Kellerman replaced that fully. I think Max Kellerman he's a good speaker. He has some good decent points, but I don't know if they ever recapture that magic that Stephen A. and Skip Bayless had. And so I don't know what to think of it, to be honest with you. I kind of stopped watching First Take a while ago, and But for me, it seems like there's more to the story than Max Kellerman just leaving First Take. I don't know. There's probably something that went down that they're trying not to disclose, or they just don't want public. Maybe it's an argument they had, somebody said something. And Max Kellerman kind of has a position in ESPN. He has a lot of shows. He has a radio show. So he's very prominent with ESPN. So I don't think they could just kick him off ESPN. So they figured out a way to keep him, but not on First Take. So I think there's more to the story that we're not familiar with. But if I had to give it a dub or a dud, I'd give it a dud just because I had to label it. But I'm more indifferent towards it than anything.
JJ, what do you think?
I think that ESPN, with their abundance of money, should hire Shannon Sharp and have a Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith show. And I know that they're all about like a balance. That's why Max Kellerman took Skip Bayless. But how dope would it be if Shannon Sharp could counter Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah.
On ESPN. And let's be real, like, we all hate to say it because we grew up on ESPN, but ESPN has been falling off, right, guys? Like, it used to be like the thing that everyone woke up to, slept to, watched while eating, got home. You need to watch ESPN. After a game, you need to watch like the recap of the games, but now it's just like secondary to everything else.
That's a good point. And
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go. Finish. Sorry, my
oh, no. I was just saying, like, I hope that ESPN, because they have so much funding and resources, make quality programming. Get Shannon Sharp. Come on. You could pay him.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the most part, I'm going to give this a dub. I think seeing Max Kellerman, because like Max Kellerman, he was such a great a great announcer for boxing. Have you guys seen him like do boxing and stuff like that? And he sounds very genuine. Like, he's a very genuine guy. And I think when he does First Take, it's almost like the stuff he's saying sounds disingenuous. I mean, I'm gonna give an example. Remember when he said that with the lasers pointing at Earth, the death beam, if he had to choose between anyone in the Warriors to shoot a game-winning 3, he would choose Andre Iguodala. Like, they got my man saying stuff like that for clicks. And I think Max Kellerman, I love his takes most of the time. He's usually spot on when he's not forced to like say something crazy like that. I'm gonna give him a dub. I think he deserves his own show. Stephen A, he's a difficult guy to be in the shadow of, and he's definitely in the shadow of. He's definitely casted a shadow over Max Kellerman over at First Take. And for our last topic, I have KG with this ultimate petty move. He crops out Ray Allen from his IG story on a photo from the 2011 All-Star break. JJ, do you give this a dub or a dud?
That's a dud for sure. Like, you're still bothered about something from like way like past a decade. This dude like helped you win something that you take pride in, which is your championship ring. And let's be frank, like, did LeBron really ruin your mental health that much that you gotta cut out the homie that helped you? Is LeBron in your head that much? That's what I think.
Right, John.
I think of a Pharrell Williams song, Because I'm Happy, but I change it to say Because I'm Petty. He's super. I just don't. I'm with JJ, man. It's a dud. I don't get it. It's how long ago has this feud been going on, or when did it start? How long has it been going on for? Does it really matter at this point? None of these guys are playing basketball other than Rondo, and he's at the tail end of his career. I mean, come on, guys, like, get over it. There's so much more important things going on. KG he seems like one of those guys that's very sensitive. He was a hell of a player. He had the demeanor and he was aggressive and he would get in your face. He was the old school type of player that I enjoyed watching, but he's this is such a dud move. It's kind of whack. It just makes you seem like such a baby, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree. Like, definitely dud in my eyes too. And that's actually all we have for tonight's episode. JJ, thank you for being on, my friend.
Shout out fans. Love you all.
John, thank you for being on.
Yo, shout out to all the dog dads and dog moms.
Shout out. And of course, shout out to the video producer, RJ. I'm Rosa Panta. We are the Clinic All NBA podcast. Come find us wherever you get your podcast.